Alright, what's up guys? So, Rebound has uploaded a video titled Times NBA Fans Went Too Far. Yeah, there was, I think it was in a live stream that I was doing, and somebody was all like, oh, we're the fans, basketball players shouldn't hit fans because it would be bad for business. I'm like, nah, bro. Them fans be asking for it sometimes. I'm like, yeah, obviously don't go up into the stand and just randomly punch a fan for no reason. But no, I'm saying they be throwing stuff at you. They be doing things like, oh, okay, so you have that energy like as if I'm not a basketball. Okay, well, I'm going to give you that same energy back. And I'm like, yeah, that type of stuff. I'm like, it don't slide with me. I'm like, nah, it's like if a fan, you bought a ticket to sit there and watch the game. When you start doing all this other extra stuff, anything that happens, you deserve it. So anyways, but yeah, guys, make sure you go subscribe to Rebound. Close to hitting 1 million subscribers. Make sure it happens. Let's get them to 1 million. But anyways, and that being said, let's get into this video.
One fan tried to blind an NBA player. Another started the biggest fight in NBA history. These are the times NBA fans went too far.
Nothing
compares.
Russell Westbrook. That's something like a person. They shouldn't have Russell. Then their last name kind of like. Well, I mean, it don't sound similar, but I'm just saying like, y'all, like he needs to be like freaking have like Bartholomew Jackson or something. So I'm like, somebody just needs to change their name. But anyways, no, Russell Westbrook, he be going at it with them fans. Like, if you guys don't follow basketball, just look up Russell Westbrook arguing with fans. I'm guaranteed there's probably a video out there that exists like Russell Westbrook arguing with fans for 5 minutes and 47 seconds or something like.
Most of the time, Russell Westbrook had to fight a grandpa. Imagine being 70 years old and trying to square up with an NBA player. Well, in 2016, it was the opening night for the season in a game between OKC and the 76ers. For once, Philly fans had something to look forward to. Joel Embiid's first game of his career. I mean, Philly had 3 straight seasons where they only won 20 games, or even less. My heart goes out to you guys. It's been a rough few years. So, the fans were riled up about Embiid's debut. From the jump, the arena was buzzing. Even though Westbrook was on the other team, he was loving the energy. He lives for these moments. The game started, and things were going Philly's way. The Thunder were down 18-7 with 5 minutes left in the first. But then, they got a steal. They passed the ball up the court to Westbrook, and he drove all the way to the rim through 3 Philly defenders. Somehow Westbrook
is there a guy that's like flipping him off?
This
I feel like
acrobatic shot, and he was feeling himself. He felt a comeback was on the way, and he taunted the crowd a little bit. But a certain grandpa wasn't having any of that, and he let Westbrook know what's good.
Yep.
Damn, this man didn't just give him one hand. He threw up a McDouble. Ooh, this grandpa's savage. But for real though, you can't be throwing up McDoubles at an NBA game, all right? Especially when the cameras catch you.
And he's just sitting there all like, oh yeah, he's just like, I said what I need to say, like he ain't gonna get kicked out of the game. See, it's stuff like that where I'm like, bro, just sit down, shut up. I'm like, just, my thing is like, you can boo all you want, you can cheer all you want, but when you do stuff like this, or when you get in a player's face, or you yelling and screaming some stuff, I'm like, yeah, bro.
You're doing it for the whole world to see. Makes you wonder how something like this even happens. Well, the grandpa said Westbrook started it. He told security that Russ called him fat, but they didn't care what he said. They just threw grandpa right out. Later on, he issued a public apology to Westbrook and the entire 76ers organization. So we never got to see that Westbrook versus grandpa boxing match. Damn. Got my popcorn ready and everything, man. But speaking of old white men, imagine being a billionaire, with a B, and starting a fight with an NBA player. Yeah. Well, that's exactly what happened during Game 3 of the 2019 NBA Finals. A minute into the fourth quarter,
he get banned for life?
All the pressure was on Golden State. The Raptors were up 96-86, so with the game close, Quinn Cook flew down the court, caught a pass, and drove in for a layup. But Ibaka unleashed his inner LeBron and chased him down, sending a shot to the sidelines. So with the ball flying into the crowd, Kyle Lowry dove into the seats trying to save it. And that's when this happened.
I never realized that he hit the ref with the ball. I always paid attention to like him going into the crowd.
Warriors investor Mark Stevens not only shoved him, but told him multiple times to, quote, himself.
Wow. Hold up. This dude really trying to pick a fight with a 200-pound NBA player? Man, he's lucky the cameras are rolling. And it'd be one thing if it was just some normal fan that did this, but Kyle was shoved by a billionaire Warriors owner.
500. Oh, he was just banned from games for a year. Okay, so he wasn't banned for life, but yeah, I know he did get fined a lot.
Mark Stevens. Being a team investor means you represent the NBA. So the league was furious when they saw this clip. And they slammed Stevens with a $500,000 fine. Whew, damn.
But he's a billionaire, so it's like what? That's like probably like what, $5 to like $50 to him. Like to me, that's like $5 to $50. Like, you know, but to him, that's but to him, but like in simpler terms or something. But anyways, yeah, he's all like, bro, I'm still a billionaire. So
it got crazier. They threatened to fine him $100 million if he didn't drop a like and subscribe to the channel.
Dang,
and they finna find you too. Yeah, I'm talking about you. I know you ain't got bread like that, so don't risk it, dog. But anyways, the NBA realized that money wasn't enough, and they really wanted to make a point. So they banned him from attending games for an entire year. This dude owns a team, and he can't even watch them play. Imagine that, man. Although, in my eyes, he still got off easy, because when Kyle heard billionaire dude telling him to f off, he almost knocked him out.
Anywhere other situation, if it wasn't in this situation, things may have been, they probably would have been done differently, handled differently by me. You know, understanding that, like, I have 2 young children, and, you know, to being able to hold myself to a certain standard, which I do. I hold myself to a high standard. I got to make sure that I uphold that.
What a humble way to say he would have kicked his ass. But at least that fan didn't try to blind him. Yeah, you heard me right. James Harden was nearly blinded by a fan. And this moment came back in 2016 between the Rockets and the Jazz. And if there's one thing you should know about Utah,
it's like you guys send that type of fan to like jail, prison, or all right, maybe not prison, but like you guys send them to jail for a little bit. Because I'm like, yo, my thing is that a basketball player, and to me, they would be in that like category. It's like, of course, they're an athlete, but they're an entertainer. It's like, so people are there to see that entertainer. All right, there's people that's fans of this entertainer. When you ruin it or try, because I'm like, yo, if that would have been a career threatening injury or something, I'm like, bro, that's on you for the rest of your life. Like I'm saying, man, you can't do stuff like that. That's what I'm like, nah, if you're gonna be carrying on like that at a game, don't show up. Don't go to the game. Don't do none of that stuff. Just stay home, watch it on whatever inch TV that you got, and just, you know, mind your business. But yeah, it's like when you're doing stuff like that, that's something like, I think it's probably best. Because I remember when I was a kid, I know I was playing a lot of basketball. So when I grew up, I was like, I want to be a basketball player. It's probably best. I'm like, you know, I'm just at home playing 2K or NBA Live. Because guaranteed, there probably have been some like news article coming out talking about basketball player Tyler Moss is fired from the NBA after beating a fan down. Like overall, just beating a fan down. I don't care who that fan. If it was maybe if it was like a kid or a woman, I wouldn't beat them. But I definitely wait till they get up to like walk and then just like, you know, do a leg swipe, like, you know, trip on them and things.
They got the wildest fans in the NBA. But this time, they took it way too far. It was late in the third quarter, and Harden was right at home, walking up to the free throw line. Everything was pretty normal.
Oh, I think there was somebody had like flashed a laser or something at his face. Oh, okay. I don't know why I thought they like pointed, but still though, I'm like, that's crazy enough. But
till something shined in Harden's eyes.
They had a camera with a flash.
I mean, really, James Harden, is it that big of a deal? You're about to throw an attempt to look like you're going to throw a ball?
Yeah, I'm going to have to
Yes, because I'm like, bro, that blinded me. I'm like, man, come on now. I'm like, you out here trying to ruin the game. I'm like, no, I go do worse. Run up on that thing and whatever he's a laser or flashlight, break it.
Disagree with announcer man here. This is a big deal. That fan wasn't using a camera flash like he said. It turned out that he was shining a laser pointer directly into Harden's eyes. Like, who comes to an arena and does that type of shit? Just watch the game, dude. This guy was really trying to clout chase by blinding Harden. Laser pointers are like for real dangerous. It only takes half a second to cause vision loss.
I'm like, because they where I live in like a flight path of an airport. So constantly you're hearing like airplanes flying back and forth. And I remember for the longest they were telling people like, yo, you guys need to stop doing that, because people would flash laser pointers at the planes and be trying to blind the pilot. So I'm like, so my thing is like, okay, to whoever that announcer is, or to whoever is thinking like, oh, okay, it's not that big of a deal. Imagine you're on a plane, right? Imagine that you're on a plane and somebody shines a laser pointer up in the at the pilot, blinds the pilot. He don't know what he's doing and things, and next thing you know, that plane getting ready to crash. Or imagine if you're a basketball player and this is the game-winning shot right here. This is the game-winning shot to win the championship, and somebody finds they go and flash a laser in your face. Like, imagine how mad you would be. So, yeah, I'm like, nah, I'm not hearing this like, oh, it's not that serious. No, it is that serious. I'm like, don't come to no game doing stuff like that.
So this could have been serious, and I guess laser pointer dude got the attention he wanted because he was shortly after thrown out of the arena. And not only that, but he got a 1-year ban from NBA games.
I banned him for life.
But that's nothing compared to these fans. They started a city-wide riot. And I don't blame him. It was honestly LeBron James' fault. When Bron came into the league, Cleveland sports hadn't experienced a championship win in 39 years.
Dang.
So when LeBron got drafted, they looked at him as their savior, and they thought he'd never leave. But during LeBron's first 7 seasons in Cleveland, he just couldn't do it. The organization and team around him was just light years behind. And after years of failing, LeBron had enough. In the summer of 2010, he was a free agent, but Cleveland fans weren't worried about him leaving. I mean, how could he? He grew up there. Well, ESPN announced there'd be a 75-minute special announcing his decision. And with fans all over the city watching, this happened.
The answer to the question everybody wants to know. LeBron, what's your decision?
In this fall, man, this is very tough. In this fall, I'm going to take my talents to South Beach and join the Miami Heat.
Miami Heat. That was the conclusion you woke up with this morning.
That was the conclusion I woke up with this morning.
Damn.
It's like, what kind of, it's like, bro, it's like, why are you like asking like or trying to confirm it like that? Like, yes, I'm going to Miami Heat. Yeah, they, if you guys don't know about this, it was crazy. That dude came back, and them fans, there is other players saying how scared they were when he went back to Cleveland to play against them. I'm like, bro, that's what I'm like, it shouldn't be that serious. I'm like, you know, it's like this man, it's like, you guys sit down and think about it. I'm like, if he, because I think at the time being like, what, he was just now having his kid or whenever he had his kid. But I'm like, yeah, bro's about to either have kids or wants to have like a foundation for his kids. If you ain't doing nothing in Cleveland, I'm like, yeah, I said that in the live stream. I'm like, if nothing wasn't happening in Cleveland, then I'm like, yeah, you obviously going to have to take your talent somewhere. I wouldn't want to be on a team where it's like we constantly losing, constantly not making it to the playoffs, not making it to the finals, none of that stuff. And I'm like, yeah, I'm sorry, but I'm going to have to take my talents elsewhere. So it's like, y'all can call me what you want, but it's like he came back and won y'all a championship, so why y'all tripping? Like, if people are still mad about that till this day, I'm like, yo, y'all need to chill.
LeBron really devastated his own city in front of the entire world. People were literally going to lose their jobs, lose their joy for basketball games, and lose their hero because of this. Wow. He made it a publicity stunt, all for him. So the fans reacted exactly how you would have expected them to.
But the lasting memory of
tonight. It's funny because I'm like, now with like the reselling game, them jerseys could probably go for a few $100s and things like, oh, LeBron jersey from this year, and or from whatever year that they that he played for Cleveland originally, but. Yeah, I'm like, you guys, man. I don't know. I'm like, it's funny because I'm like, I still got some like Randy Moss Patriots jerseys in my closet. I'm like, I'm not selling. I'm not gonna resell them. I'm not gonna burn them. I ain't gonna do nothing to them. I'm gonna keep them jerseys in my closet until like it's just a thread. Like that's it.
Will be this shot, his burning jersey in Lakewood.
How arrogant to get on national TV and slap the city and the team that supported you since you've been in high school straight in the face like that.
He took a whole team away. There's other players out there that'll probably never be another LeBron anywhere soon.
They are crazy, bro.
Whew, Jesus,
wild.
Overnight, LeBron went from a hometown hero to the most hated person in Ohio. See, LeBron was the entire Cleveland economy, and that's why when he left the Cavs, the value of their team dropped from $476 million to $355 million instantly. Just think about that. $121 million disappears from your team in a split second. Damn, I feel bad for the Cavs owner. But see, LeBron just wanted to better his career.
I know, because I remember then that second time he left and went to the Lakers, and I was all like, I think I seen this thing somewhere saying that tickets for Cleveland was like $4. I'm like, dang, bro, that's messed up.
Saw a championship opportunity in Miami. And come on, man, it's Miami. You'd be crazy to not choose Miami over Cleveland. I'm just saying, dude, come on. But the fans forever felt some type of way. So during that next season...
Okay, then that's be my question to the fans. I'm like, what would y'all do? You got kids, you got families that you need to worry about, and you know that there's a bigger opportunity for you waiting in Miami, okay? And especially if this is a place that you always wanted to go, it's like, don't speak on what you would do. Speak on if you are LeBron James. You are LeBron James. Get in his shoes. Get in his mind. Where do you think... Because I think... anybody that will be in LeBron's shoes will overall do exactly what LeBron did. But if you're going to try to place yourself in his situation, but be in your own shoes, of course you're going to say, oh, I'll do this, I'll do that. I'm like, because you've never been in his situation before. But I'm like, you put yourself in LeBron's mind. Put yourself in his shoes. Understand what he was thinking at the time, okay? And it's like, and I honestly think, like, if he could, he would do it all over again. He would do the same thing all over again. Because it's like, what? He did go over to Miami. He won championship rings. And so that's what I'm like, bro.
Heat came back to town. They didn't let LeBron off easy. LeBron came into the arena, and it was one of those situations where a 6'9", 250-pound man actually needed security. I mean, it looked like every single person in the crowd was ready to risk it all. Yes. Everyone was booing, signs with insults calling LeBron a traitor, a quitness. Every time LeBron got the ball, the crowd let him know they didn't love him at all anymore. But he didn't care.
Fake fans, because then as soon as he came back, they're like, oh my God, we love LeBron. Thank you for bringing us a championship ring. I'm like, man, get out of here.
Came in with a point to prove, and LeBron went to work. LeBron dropped 38 points, 8 assists, and 5 rebounds that game. He barely missed a shot, and he did this with every single fan rooting against him. But at the end of the day, LeBron didn't mean to disrespect the Cavs or the fans. They just took what he did personally. And LeBron knew deep down in his heart, one day, he'd repay his city. So he returned to Cleveland in 2014, signing with the Cavaliers. And he made it his mission to bring a championship to Ohio. And just 2 years later, he did it. In 2016, the Cavs came back from down 3-1 to the Warriors, and LeBron did what no one ever could do for the city of Cleveland. He ended the championship drought and won everyone's hearts back. All right. Citywide riot, check. Player nearly getting blinded, check. But a fan starting the biggest fight in NBA history? Now that's something we gotta talk about.
Yeah.
The Malice at the Palace was one of the most infamous moments in sports history.
I remember my dad, he was telling me about this when it had happened. I didn't have, because I wasn't really following sports at the time, but I remember it was like a talked about thing. And then I was just all like, I remember he told me about the whole thing, and then I was like, dang, man. And then it's like years later watching it, and I'm like, bro, it's like when you know this, like when you just get older and understand the situation and know the situation, then you're like, dang, bro.
All went down
y'all need to
November
chill.
19th, 2004, in a game between the Pacers and the Pistons.
Like I was in elementary.
Coming into this
time.
game, there was a ton of hype. Detroit had just knocked Indiana out of the playoffs the year before and went on to win the championship. So, coming into the Pistons arena, the Pacers had revenge on their mind. This was the first time these two teams faced off since then, so the game was nationally televised on ESPN. And with all the bad blood there, everyone was watching. From the jump, the Pacers controlled the game. Ron Artest was playing out of his mind, and he dropped 17 points in the first quarter. But it wasn't long before the game got physical. The crowd got crazy, and the Pistons got heated. The Pacers completely dominated the entire game. Ron Artest and Jermaine O'Neal combined for 44 points. So there wasn't much Detroit could do. and with less than a minute left in the game, the Pacers led 97-82. All hope was damn near lost for Detroit, but the Pistons weren't just gonna give up. Ben Wallace got a pass inside and tried to lay it up. Then, Ron Artest hit him with a hard foul. It could have been left at that. Ben could have shot his free throws, then a minute later headed home. But Ben said, "F that, we gotta square up, dog." And it's safe to say, that's when all hell broke loose.
That, it was over with.
Just went after Artest. We got big trouble here in the Motor City.
Whoa, 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 whoa! We just went from watching an NBA game to WWE. Ooh, we got 2 shows in one. Yeah, things got heated between the two teams, but Steven Jackson and Ben Wallace were the ones doing the most. Even though it all started with Ron Artest's foul, he was seen just laying down on the scores table with his hands behind his head. The man was trying to cool down and not get involved. But then a fan in the crowd went way too far. This dude threw a full Diet Coke right at Artest.
Dang, yeah.
And well, this turned the entire arena into chaos.
You have to walk past the Pacer bench to go. Now Artest has jumped over the scores table and is trying to get down to the bench.
That fan looked like, that fan was like, whoa, whoa, whoa. It's like, nah, bro. You messed up. Dang.
Steven Jackson's in the fans. Rasheed Wallace going into the stands.
It's like, it doesn't matter how many times I see this video. It's crazy every time. Because you're like, you forget about it, and then when you see it again, then you're like, dang, bro, they really did that.
Players were literally beating up fans in the stands on live TV. Nothing in NBA history compares to this. And the chaos kept going. The fight boiled over onto the court. Fans and players were swinging at each other. And eventually, the game was called off. And security tried to escort everyone off the court. But as players were leaving, the fans started throwing drinks, food, shoes. I mean, they were throwing everything they could. One dude even threw a chair. Jesus. So, because things got so out of control, it led to the biggest fines and suspensions the NBA has ever seen. Ron Artest was suspended for the entire season and lost nearly $5 million in salary. Steven Jackson was suspended for 30 games and lost $1.7 million. Jermaine O'Neal was suspended for 15 games and lost $4.1 million. I mean, lawsuits were filed, charges were placed, and history was made. So this is without a doubt the craziest moment in NBA history. But you can't talk about the craziest moment and not bring up the craziest player in NBA history, Kyrie Irving. He's bashed the media, took shots at LeBron, disappeared from the Nets. It's ridiculous. Every time Kyrie does something crazy, I always wonder, what do other NBA players think about it?
He's the craziest player in the league?
Oh, you want to find out? Well, click on this video right here. It's all about what NBA players think about Kyrie Irving. And it gets pretty spicy. So what are you doing, man? This video's over. Click on it.
I'm like, dang. I'm like, Kyrie considered? I don't know. Maybe, but anyways, yeah, that was a pretty good video. Yeah, shout out to Rebound. I like this channel. This channel pretty cool. It's my second time watching a video on this channel. I like it. It's pretty cool. But anyways, go subscribe to him. Subscribe to me also. I will talk to you guys later. Thank you guys for watching, and peace.